Hello and welcome to step 3 of stage 3. You know what to do. Open. Step 3, open. So in this step we're going to do some reference lines and we're going to do some free-form surfaces, and we're also going to do a revolve mass. So just like before when we did the first building, this one here, we did it as an in-place mass. We're going to do exactly the same again. So we go up to our massing and site tab, and we go to Inplace Mass. Again, you have another warning saying Revit has enabled the show mass mode so that the newly created mass will be visible. That's fine, press close. Again, just like before, mass 1 is absolutely fine, press OK. The user interface will slightly change, but what we're going to do now is, before we just did pick line and we did extrusion, this time we're going to do reference line, which is just here, so select that. The user interface will turn green, and if we zoom into pretty much this area here and draw a reference line pretty much on this line from here to here, and then press escape twice, and if you hover over the line that you've just drawn, you'll notice that we have 4 individual planes. Reference planes are really helpful because you can actually set a plane and work on that plane. So you can work on the 2 ends, or the middle vertical, or the middle horizontal. What we're going to do is we're going to set one of these planes, and it will be the middle vertical. So to do that, we go back up to the set button, and with the tab key you should find it. 2 taps on the tab key, click it. Once you select it, again, if you want to show it, you can by pressing the show reference plane. And now what we're going to do is draw a curved spline line on that reference plane. So we go up to the Spline Tool, which is this little button here in the draw section, and then if you go to the right side of your view cube and zoom in a little bit, and what we want to do is we want to pretty much do a spline that looks something like this, and then press escape so that you've finished the command, and press escape one more time so that we can edit it, so we can actually pull the little pull handles. Now, depending where you put your reference plane and you'll see horizon line, it may or may not be too high or too low. On my screen it seems a little bit low, so I'm going to move the whole thing up with the move tool to approximately about here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to copy this spline line 3 times. So in your view cube, if you select the front side, and what we're going to do is we're going to copy it and make sure that constraint is turned off and multiple is ticked, and we're pretty much going to move it 2 more times to the left by about 15/16 meters. So 15-ish, 16, that's fine. And then turn the constraints off so it doesn't always go vertical, and then we'll go across again to about 16, 15, 16, 40, that's fine. And then press escape twice to exit the command, and if you go in 3D you can see exactly what you've done. Now from here, let's jazz up the middle spline so it's pretty much the opposite to the other 2. So we grab our control points and move them around, so it's pretty much the opposite. You could have actually rotated the whole thing, but just to show you now, you can actually pull them around. And then once you've done that, if you press the control key on your keyboard and then select all 3 of them, and then right at the very top we're going to create solid form. So once you do that, you will notice that we've created quite a little wavy pattern roof. Now don't forget, just like before, we can create an X-ray view of this like we did with the very first mass. So if we select the face, then go up to the very top and press X-ray, and as you know, you can select the points and change things individually. But also, if we select the whole thing, we can rotate it. So if we go to the right side of the view cube and then press the rotate tool button, and pretty much if we use left hand side, kind of rotate it up to about 30 degrees. So it's kind of, actually that's a bit too high, so undo that. Let's rotate the whole thing again, select it all, rotate it to approximately 23 degrees. So it's a bit like that. Okay, once you've done that and nothing is selected, if you go up to the very top and press the green tick, you will notice that we have created our bendy, curved, wavy roof. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is create a revolve form pretty much around about here on your main plan. So just like before, we go up to the Massing and Site tab, we press Inplace Mass, mass number 2, that's absolutely fine, press OK on that. Again, we draw a reference line, so we'll do it pretty much about here. Then we press Escape twice to exit the command. Now we're going to set the working plane again, so hover over the reference line, press the tab button once, and then choose the vertical middle horizontal reference plane. Once that's selected, and depending if you've got your show working plane button on, again you can turn it on and off here. Now to do a revolve form, we need to have a central axis, so we go to the line tool and we find pretty much the middle. You hover over it and you should find a little purple triangle. If we draw vertically up and then press escape, so it should look like this. Now what we can do is do a number of things, so I'll show you a couple of options. So the first thing we're going to do is choose the spline tool, and we can pretty much draw a spline that looks something like a vase, and then press escape to continue. And then to do a revolve form, you need to make sure that all lines and splines are selected, as well as the revolve central pivot here. So with the control key, select it, and then go up to create form and press solid form. Now you'll notice you have two little buttons that have now arrived on your screen, so you can create an individual face, or you can create the sweep, revolve sweep, to create something that looks like a bit of a vase or a jug. I want you to delete this, so Control Z, until that spline line has disappeared. Now I want us to draw a rectangle, so we go up to our rectangle tool and we pretty much draw a rectangle about 46 meters by about 10 meters, so what you see on my screen. Once you've done that, click once, then press escape twice, so nothing is selected. And then if we select our rectangle, and then with the control key select the line, and then if we go again, create form, solid form, you will notice that we've created a tube. Now just like before, and with any mass, you can make it into X-ray, or you can pull individual points. So if we select the top face, again the user interface turns green, and you can see that our pull handles, so we can change the radius at the top, or make it like that, or we can select the outside face and make that fatter or thinner, etc. But for now, that's only an example, just like the last one. We're going to undo everything, so if you can press Control Z until you get to this point and then leave it there, and then make sure that nothing is selected. Now using the same rectangle and the reference line to do a revolve, let's create another tube again. So we select our reference line, our rotation line, and with the control button press the rectangle again, go back to create form, so it looks just like the tube. But this time what we're going to do is we're going to select the individual face of that line right there, and we're going to rotate it so it pretty much gets to about here, so it's a small little wedge, so to speak, or just past a quarter of a circle. Click in negative space and nothing's selected. Okay, once that's done, we're going to set a new working plane on level 1. So we go to set, and then in the options bar we'll choose level 1, and then if we go to the top of our view cube and then zoom in into this area, now what we want to do is select the whole of that mass, and we're going to rotate it twice, but we're going to copy rotate. So we go to the rotate button, and at the very top we tick copy, and at present it's taken right into the center of that line. That's absolutely fine. So we're going to copy it from here to here, and then we're going to do it again but on the other side. So with that still selected, we go to the rotate button, copy. This time we need to now select the middle. So with the space bar, press once, find the middle point, click, get the end point here, and then rotate it to the other side, and you should have something like that in 3D. Okay, so once you've done that, what we're going to do now is do some further modifications. So we'll select this mass here by tabbing and getting the whole thing, and what we're going to do is we're going to get the inside face to go out. So we select that individual face, that one there, and we use the yellow pull handle to pull it out, so it's like that. And then the same on the other side of this mass here. So we tab until we find the back part, and with the orange pull handle we'll pull it in so it's like that. And then what we're going to do is with this same first mass, find this face and then pull it round so it's kind of pretty much halfway through the middle mass. And then the next thing we're going to do is go back to the outside mass here. So if we select that face and then pull it round so it's pretty much around about here, and then we're going to choose this face and then pull it round to around about halfway at the back of the middle mass. So you should have something that looks like this. Okay, once you've got to that design, we're going to select this top face, the front part of the mass. Choose the orange pull handle. If you can't see it, rotate. No, not the orange pull handle, the blue pull handle. Rotate it a little bit, get the blue and pull it down. We're going to do exactly the same with the back, but lift it up. So select it and then pull the blue handle. And you know what, we can make the temporary dimensions, let's make it 75. So it's about there. You know what, I think this needs to move a little bit, so we'll select that and pull it slightly in. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so once you've got to this, press the negative space, so nothing's selected. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to join the masses. So at present, if you zoom in, you can see individual lines where they're all touching. We want to create a particular footprint, so we're going to join each mass. So what we do is we go up to the join tool and we select this mass once, then the middle mass, and you'll notice that they've joined. We need to do it to the last one as well, so we select the first two and then the third one, and you'll notice our footprint has done that. Once you've done that, press escape once to exit the command. Okay, so once you've done those three shapes and joined them, we can delete the reference line and we can turn off our show working plane to have a good idea of what it looks like. Okay, so that completes step 3 of stage 3. So just like before, close the 3D window, do not save, and we will see you in the next one.